Hello, my name is Leanna Mancuso, and I am a deaf and hard of hearing itinerant teacher from Atlanta, Georgia. And I am the teacher author of DHH Down South on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to be exhibiting virtually at the Illinois Teacher of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Conference. Thank you so much for having me. I received my bachelor's degree in communication sciences and disorders. After graduating with my undergraduate degree, I worked as a teacher's assistant in a preschool classroom at a school for the deaf that uses listening and spoken language. After that year, I decided to get my master's in deaf education. While I was a graduate student, I worked as a graduate research assistant and worked on producing a literacy curriculum for students who are deaf and hard of hearing called Foundations for Literacy. After graduating, I became an itinerant teacher serving preschool to 12th grade. During my first year teaching, I looked for resources that would match my students' needs. I had a very diverse caseload of students who used different communication modes and had a variety of IEP goals I wanted to address. There were few resources out there to support my caseload, so I would work with my students and then I would make a running list of ideas of materials to make that would support my students' needs. I used the expanded core curriculum for deaf and hard of hearing students as a guide to create my lessons and resources. I made these resources and used them with my students to target a variety of goals, and I was able to modify my resources to match my students' needs. I continue to keep this long list of ideas for 2 years during my second year of teaching, and when the pandemic first started, I found myself with a lot more time on my hands because I wasn't commuting from school to school. And I decided to take the resources I've made and start sharing them with other teachers of the deaf and hard of hearing. I wanted to create resources that supported self-advocacy skills, but I wanted to dive in a little deeper. I was noticing that I had students on my caseload that needed further support with understanding their personal hearing loss. And I also noticed I was having students that needed assistance with managing their personal devices and their amplification. And I also wanted resources that targeted deaf culture. Additionally, I had a few students who had transitions from schools of the deaf and also self-contained DHH programs, and they were new to utilizing a sign language interpreter in the classroom setting. So I wanted to create resources for students to learn how to appropriately utilize a sign language interpreter in the classroom. Also, as an itinerant teacher, caseload management and data collection is a large part of what we do. So I wanted to make resources to help itinerant teachers stay organized. Let's take a tour of my TPT store. So here are some custom categories. Some are TPT generated and some are ones I put in, such as amplification and deaf culture, interpreter use, listening and auditory skills, and understanding hearing loss and self-advocacy. I do teach preschool to 12th grade, and I try to make my resources modifiable for multiple grade levels. So you'll see that there is, you can use this with a variety of age ranges. Here are some subjects and then types of resources. So I'm going to dive into some of these categories. Let's go to understanding hearing loss. This is a resource I recently came out with, which is My Hearing Loss Magazine Hunt. This is a resource where students can plot their personal hearing loss onto an audiogram and then use magazines to search for speech sounds and environmental sounds that are easy and difficult for them to hear with their type and degree of hearing loss, aided and unaided. Let's look at some other ones under understanding hearing loss. This is terms associated with the deaf and hard of hearing community. This is a PowerPoint. It's interactive. And if you have a touchscreen computer, it could be really fun. You just look at different definitions. This is for students to really develop their identity. Here are understanding the cause or etiology of hearing loss. There's 2 different levels, and here is a bundle if you're itinerant like me and you serve students preschool to 12th grade. This is a flip book of the different causes of hearing loss, and then students can learn about the different causes and then identify the etiology of their personal hearing loss. And here is the How Would You Respond comic strips. These are comic strips where students can learn how to respond to peers about their hearing loss and accommodations. I'm also doing a raffle. All you have to do is follow my TPT store on teacherspayteachers.com, follow my Instagram account if you have one, and enter with your email. This is going to be on a Google form, and you can just follow my TPT store and Instagram account and enter with your email. One lucky winner will receive my most sold product, which is How Would You Respond? Self-advocacy comic strips for deaf and hard of hearing students. So thank you all so much for this opportunity, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you so much for having me.